Hi, I'm Mark with Crew, and today I'm going to walk you through the tour study. The big idea of this study is giving our students an overview of this big book so that it's easier for them to understand. The problem is that the Bible is so big that sometimes our students don't even want to read it, they don't know where to start, and they don't see its relevance in everyday life. Our students don't even open up this book because it just looks so big and intimidating. Where do you start? What's in it? Since they don't know, they just don't do it. We need to help them get an overview of what's in the Bible, get them more familiar with the parts, so when they look at it, it's not so imposing, not so intimidating, and they actually get into God's Word. Our response is to get an overview of the Bible, to see how its many parts fit together, and to see how we fit into the Bible's story. The image is a tour bus. A tour bus just kind of drives by important places and tells you a little bit about each place as they go by. And that's what we're doing. We're not spending much time in any section or any part of the Bible, not too much time on each character. We're just giving them a broad perspective, kind of to 10,000 foot from an airplane view of this thing so that they can get an idea of what the whole thing is. And then as we keep going in our studies, we'll be able to zoom in on the parts and it'll make more sense to them. So what's the significance of this study? The Bible is God's Word. This is what He gave us to understand Him, to understand the world, and to spur us on to tell others about Jesus. This is what He gave us. And since we want our students to know God, we need to help them understand God's Word. These are their learning objectives for our study. First, what I want them to know and understand. I want them to be familiar with the Bible and how it's put together so that they're more comfortable digging into it. And what do I want them to experience? I want them to experience a curiosity of what else is in the Bible. As they see these different sections and as they hear a little bit about the stories going on here, I want them to say, I want to read more about that, or I want to learn more about that. And I also want them to experience a sense of comfort in the Bible, that they can do this, that this is not too big for them. And how do I want them to respond? I want them to begin reading God's Word. I want them to see where their place is in the Bible. I want them to see their own story in the Bible and begin to dig into God's Word and for it to change their lives. The small group leader tip of the week is this: relationship, relationship, relationship. Youth ministry is about building relationships with students. They probably won't remember a lot of what you say, but they will remember you. Invest in these relationships. Text them during the week. Try to hang out with them outside of a small group. Look for ways to build a relationship. Show up to their football games or their basketball games. Make them a friend. A relationship will last a lifetime, even if they forget the particular content you guys talked about. Well, that's the tour study. I hope you guys have a great study this week. Thanks a lot.